Good morning and welcome to another one. Yeah, we've got something a little bit different going on today. Today I am going to do a vlog. This is a weekend, of course, and I'm at the Lone Tree. But today I'm going to do a vlog slightly different to something I've seen before done by anybody. I'm going to do a lesser abled, something like that. I'm going to try and do a vlog where you can come to these locations and you can actually do them from the car, near the car, or a very, very close walk. The inspiration in this video is a chap that's with me here. I got speaking to him a few months ago now, and he's from Holland, and he was over in Britain this weekend, travelling around in his camper van. He's got a poorly foot and a poorly knee, and that made me think, you know, this is one of those things that I know people are interested in, and I've not seen anyone do before. But I've not seen a slightly less abled vlog on some of these iconic and classic locations. So we're going to do that in North Wales. Is this young man Arnold de Grans?
Gans.
Cods.
Gans.
Gans? There you go. Look at that, Arnold de Gans. That's about as good as I'm going to get. Yeah, we met up last night. We've slept in the car park, which is literally what, 150 yards away. We are here for sunrise. Good old British sunrise as it is. It's grey, it's overcast, and there's not a lot going on. But the tree's the tree. But yeah, we're going to take a picture of the tree anyway. We're here. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. He was late getting up. He set his alarm clock for Monday, and it's Saturday. Strange they are in these other countries. They really are. Yeah, we're going to set up, get an image here, and then I'm going to explain the small walk, where we're parked. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to stop rambling, get my camera out, take a couple of images, and yeah, see you in a bit. Not yet got my camera set up because I'm more intrigued in watching Arnold. He's got a really odd camera. It's really strange. What's that? It's a Pentax. I don't think I've ever been anywhere around a Pentax, and it's a real one apparently. It's a top of the range, full frame jobby. So I'm interested to see what these are like. Going for the classic. There is only one classic shot of this, and he's exactly in the spot where it's got to be. I think there should be a pedestal there to put your tripod on, because there is just one proper classic shot of this. You can't really put it anywhere else.
You should be a permanent
fixture, permanent tripod. Yeah.
Permanent tripod.
Yeah, it should be a permanent tripod here just to put your camera on.
Your camera,
just it goes up and down. Maybe a pole that you can slide your camera up and down. But there is only one shot, and that is normally put in the tree, bang in the middle of the mountains in the background, and then got in the bushy part, if there is such a thing as a bushy part, just slightly above it, so that there's nothing touching the mainland, if you like, or the mountains. There's a tiny little bit of wind, and the midges are out. This is why you keep seeing me put my hood up and hiding. They're only a few, but
there are no midgets here.
He's not getting bothered at all. You know me, they just come and attack me. But yeah, there's not many, but there's a few. They're not Scottish anyway. These are Welsh midges. They're not quite as bad at the moment, but I'm sure they will be sometime today. I've got the little Fuji out with me today. Nice and simple. It's not about the camera as well. This is another thing I hear a lot of people. What's the best camera? What camera should we use? Or why is yours better than mine? There is no better camera. It's the camera you've got at the time. I've got the Fuji at the time. Arnold's using his Pentax. Denise left her Fuji out. But you can take a photograph with your iPhone as well. So it's about being here. Morning.
I'm ready
for
the
rest
breakfast.
of the day. And he's ready for breakfast. He's ready for breakfast. 5:10 and he's ready for breakfast. Camera's here. Got the 2-second timer on, yeah, and focused on the tree really. That's about it. I've done a 5 stop bracket, not 5 stop. It's actually a bracket. I'm going to tell you how many it is. It works out just about a stop and a half over either side. So what are they, thirds or something? 2/3 stops. So yeah, no wind. It's just there's There's a little bit of wind on the lake though, with movement. There's no water to talk of though. This is more about just a tree standing up on its own. It's a photograph. I've got a little leading line because you've got this slate in the ground with the water level being out. There's a big weed. I don't think I'm going to be able to clone it out, so I'm going to leave it in. It makes the leading line if nothing else. So we've got the leading line from this sharp, jagged piece of slate sticking out of the ground, running through to the little weedy bush, going over to the tree, and then the tree in the distance, the mountains in the distance. It's the best I can do really for this morning. I'm not going to take loads of pictures because it's just not worth it. Now Arnold has found a slightly different composition because the water level's so low. There is another composition to be had here, and that is over to the side there. I'll just show you where he is, where his camera is, just there. So I might go over and have a look because I've not taken one from that position because there's normally water around your feet. So yeah, stick with us. Just come back to the van. We're going to head up for breakfast later on. It's not even breakfast time yet, it's still just past 6. Look at this, look, the wife's still in bed. Mrs. C, you can't see her, it's a bit dark there, but she is there. She says, bugger off, shut the door, I'm sleeping. Arnold's wife's awake. I didn't get your name last night.
Desiree. Desiree.
Desiree.
Like
Desiree.
Yeah, Desiree.
Desiree. That's going to be hard to remember, isn't it? I'll call her Des. It'll be easy. Des. It's now Des. But she's up. She's ready. She hasn't got the kettle on yet. So he's going to have to wait for his brew. But yeah, so am I. Yeah. But the weather's not changed any, and I don't think it's going to change much at the moment. So right, we're going to get a cup of coffee and have a bit of a chat. Right, then we made another quick stop. We've just been for breakfast down at Pete's Eats. We are now heading back up, I think it's Nant Peris, which is the valley going up that direction. But the idea of today is, like I said earlier on, is that we're going to stop off at easy locations. Now this is a roadside location. The road is here. There's some stopping points, there's a few points. There's one back just there. Where are we? Just there. We stopped on another one here, just a bit of a low curb, and we're looking right over Klimpadan, and this is where the power station is. I think this is the electric mountain. So we're looking at Dinorwig. Now we've also got the castle, and I can't remember the names of these places. Yep, you guessed it, battery went on me. Typical, isn't it? Right, so as I was saying, where were we? Yes, we're looking down at the castle. As you know, I'm useless with names of things and names of places, so I'll put the names up as I'm talking about the areas we're stopping in. I'll put the names up somewhere for you, just so you know where it is. But yeah, it's not a bad little view of the castle from back this direction, depending on the light, of course. It's very grey, and like I said before, I think it's going to stay like this most of the day. So I'll get my camera out. I will take a couple of images while we're going along. Might put the longer lens on and try a few little intimate detail shots of the quarry, because we just love the quarry. Very subdued, very overcast, but moody and atmospheric. And of course, Arnold's not here every day, so we'll be snapping a few pictures as we go along. So yeah, this is another location, very easy. We're on the main road, and anyone can access this little area. And I think in different light, different conditions, you'll get some stunning images from here. So yeah, let me get my camera out, snap a couple of images, and I'll show you them as I go along. I thought I'd try something a little bit different. I put the 55 to 200mm on the Fuji and trying to put handheld. I've got my image stabilizer switched on. I just thought I'd take a few handheld shots. By doing so, the castle actually looks quite nice from this direction. I like the grey, I like the really thick layers of clouds above it. And on the Fuji, as we all know, the Fuji greens really do pop. we've made another stop. Yep, this is one of them. Well, I was going to stop on the Nant, what is it called? Nant. I've forgotten what it's called. But that road up there, Nant something Pass. Nant Peris, is it? Nant Peris Pass. I was going to stop up there. But there's only 2 lay-bys where you can actually stop and get close to the boulders, but it's well worth stopping. They're roadside parking places, and you've got a lovely little river that drops down beside you. You've also got lone trees, you've got rocks and boulders like you've never seen before, literally like where the tops of the cliffs have just landed next to the road. So well worth a stop, but you have to be there before anybody gets up in the morning, because there's 2 lay-bys, big lay-bys, both take about 8 or 9 cars, full up. I'll put the name of the road just up there somewhere. I think it's A4086, I think it is. But yeah, I'll put the name of the road, and I'll also bob up a map for you while I'm talking, with little pinpoints pointing to where the stops are. Same as every stop I do make today, if I forget to tell you where it is or the name of it, I will actually put up a little map and a little location point for where it is for you. Again, this is another spot, as you can see behind me. We pulled into the viewpoint. This is what I call the Snowdon viewpoint. I don't know what it's actually officially called, but you've got Snowdon there right in front of you, and this is probably one of the best open views you're going to get around Snowdon. Brilliant viewpoint. Again, wheelchair access. You can pull up here, get out the car, you can spend a little bit of time here. There's enough parking here for 20 cars, I suppose. A few vans, as you can see. The bus is there. Good lady wife, she's out with us as well. But yeah, this is a beautiful point, and the sun's coming out a little bit. You can't see it very well at the moment. See if I can wind the exposure down for you. Let's have a look and see if I can just turn this down. Where are we there? There we go. Look at that. You've got some beautiful little sunny patches and little blue bits coming out in the sky. So that's making, oh, come back. That's making for some nice looking images. So again, the camera's going to come out. I'll take a few snapshots while we're here, and yeah, make the most of the day. It's going to be a different vlog. I'm not going to talk a lot about camera settings. It's purely location based, I think, today, and possibly tomorrow I'm going to do a similar sort of thing coming back the other direction. So location based, beautiful views, beautiful scenery. Just look at this, absolutely stunning. You get the right light on this, the right atmosphere and the right mood. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, another viewpoint, another location, and another one on the map. We've even got a little bird down here. Tweet, tweet. Look at this. He spotted a really cracking little shot. See on there, there's some little wild flowers just growing on the foreground here, on these little rocks in this car park. So by using the bigger lens, you can actually zoom in and get a nice little shot of the flowers in the foreground, and you can put all the mountains and Snowdon behind it. So like I normally do when Denise spots a cracking little image, I'm going to copy the idea a little bit. But yeah, it's a good idea. It's nicely spotted and a nice little bit of foreground, something I probably wouldn't have noticed with having a vlogging camera in my hand and just wandering around. So yeah, there's a nice little bit of light up there at the moment. So yeah, let's crack out the slightly longer lens, and I've got another one to play with. I know, I'm buying lots of lenses, but I'm not taking my money with me. So yeah, let me see if I can show you what we've got now. A new little toy which will please Mr. Paul Hill, who I know. Look at this. Can we see it? Yep, we've gone and got ourselves the, what is it, the 50-140? Yeah. Let's get that out and have a play with that. We're still here, we're still on this point. The light's changing all the time now. it's making a lot of difference because the clouds are moving over so fast, and you've got these lovely little patches of blue in between the clouds. It's casting pockets of light everywhere. So I'm just dancing around at the moment, trying to get different shots in different places. I've got the Fuji on the go, got the big lens on, as you can see, the 55-140. First time I've used it. I've only had it last week. It came. So yeah, it's pretty good. I quite like it. The only thing I wasn't sure about is I'm not sure on the mounting bracket. I'm going to have to get home and get a pair of pliers to nip the mounting bracket up a little bit, because I think it needs to be over tight. There's two little lugs on the bottom there, and they just want screwing up dead tight, and you can't quite get your fingers in to nip them up. There's a bit of movement. It's okay at the moment, but I noticed it was loose just now. But yeah, the light here has been fantastic. I've taken a couple of shots down into Llangwynant, down into the lake that way. I'll take you around there in a moment. Arnold's got an absolute peach of an image, and I'm going to show you that image right there. Absolute peach. Little bird came down, sat on the rock. He was set up doing a focus stack, like I said, using these flowers. He'd moved across slightly, and you've got the rocks leading up, and then the little patches of light up in the top. And this bird come and sat down right in front of his lens. I mean, not just in it, absolutely bang smack in the middle, and it was looking at him. So you've got this picture of the bird, picture of the rocks, picture of the mountains, focus stacked. Amazing, amazing. Well, we'll say it's amazing. You've just seen it because I've showed it to you, and I'll pop it up again there. But he might have messed it up. When he gets back to Photoshop, it could be all wrong. No, it won't be. It won't be. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. It looked really good. But yeah, these are fantastic little shots. 2 second timers on as normal. At ISO 160 on this Fuji X-T3. So yeah, it's best ISO you can get is your lowest ISO. If you can get the camera settings in that. Focus, the shutter speed I'm not too worried about. I've also got my little GoPro down there doing a bit of a time lapse because the clouds are moving really fast. It should look pretty good. But yeah, so all in all, this is pretty good. And like I said, access area to anybody of any ability. Really is perfect little place to just come and watch the mountains, look at the clouds, look at the lake in the bottom, in the valley down there. You could sit here all day and just take all this in whatever light and whatever conditions. Absolutely stunning little area. Right, we've just pulled up at another location. I was here a couple of weeks ago, or a little while ago to be honest now. We've come down to Llangwynant. We're down at the boathouses on... Oh, nearly fell down the hole then. Where it wasn't funny. She's laughing at me, she's taking the mick. We're going to take a nice, slow, steady walk across this field. So again, this is another parking location, which I'm not sure whether you can get on normal wheelchair, but definitely a decent mobility scooter. You can get into the field and probably make your way across. But if you've not got a lot of distance in your feet, it's definitely a close walking position. Arnold's going to give it a bit of a try, see how he gets on. We parked in this lay-by. I will put the description and a number of the road up for you. And the boathouse is just down there. So we're going to take a little bit of a walk up here, in through the gate and across this field, which is relatively flat and hopefully not too boggy. And if it is, we'll come back out. But yeah, let's try this one. And I'll see you when we get over there. One thing I would say, if you're ever coming into fields or you're coming through gates, if the gate's locked, make sure you lock it again. Do not leave gates open, do not leave walkways open. There's sheep in this field and the farmer would not be impressed if you let the sheep out. not perfectly flat, but it is walkable. It is walkable. So we're now down towards the shoreline, and like I said, the water level's very, very low. As this is summertime, I'm not surprised. It's not the prettiest, but it's still an image. There's still a photo to be had. There's always a photo to be had, as you know me. So we'll just make the most of what we've got and see what we can make out of this little thing just there. Right, all good. Right, let's get the look at this here for a view as well. Isn't this just, that's actually looking through the camera. That's a lovely view there, isn't it? Quite a nice wide angle. So we'll take a, yeah, we've got leading from some rocks down there.
Wood.
We've got a nice reflection patch here before the wind starts rippling the water. So we've got a little image here, we've got a little image there, and I think we've got a little bit of drone footage as well. Just to show you where we parked, we are there. So yeah, very close to the car, very close to the road. There is actually a parking space directly behind that boathouse, but you can't actually physically get down from there. And the second boathouse is just hidden behind the trees. You can't see it on this, I don't think, but just there are two more boathouses which we may try and have a look at. All we've got to do is just watch Arnold's feet and just make sure that it's the flatness he needs to try and keep his feet level. So yeah, we'll see what we can do with this one, and we'll make something of it, won't we, anyway. Right, before I carry on, I've got the camera set up behind you looking down this side. I'm going to wait for the ripples to die down a little bit, but I've got to do a little bit of landscaping. I'll show you what I mean, but there's a couple of little bits. There's a twig about there, and there's a twig, where are we, down there anyway. I'm going to move first. Just a little bit of landscaping, just to tidy up the image. Much better. Right, shall we do an actual bit of landscape photography? As this is what my channel is really about. Image is set up. We've gone vertical on this one. The reason we've gone vertical is there's quite a lot of highlights and disturbance in the water. There's hardly any wind, as you can. There's nothing moving at all, but it's just causing a little bit of a ripple on the water's edge. You can see it there where the water changes. So I'm more interested about this patch here. There's no water movement on this patch. The polarizer, by turning the polarizer around just a little bit, you can just pull back the slight reflection in this bottom corner. So I've got a beautiful, beautiful dark patch of water leading you right through this image. I've got these rocks down here, anchoring the bottom of the image, so the base of the image is fixed firmly with these rocks. I'm then looking at this shoreline, which is going off through there. Yes, the shoreline up close is a little bit messy. You can see the grass along the edge that the water's obviously brought in. Not much I can do about that, but I suppose the little bit of a green texture leads you sort of along that ridge, so it's quite nice. I'm on f8. I focused on the boathouse, which is in the distance. So I focus right up there, and then I've done another one focused right down here on these rocks in the foreground. So I can actually focus stack it and make the image sharp all the way through. I tend to do a lot of focus stacking, but I don't necessarily always use it. You hear a lot of people speaking that you need the image to be crisp all the way through. I'm not a firm believer of that. If you're going to blow the image up and put it up onto a poster size up on the wall, and you want all the details so people stop and look all the time, then yeah, I get it. Otherwise, your eyes don't see focus from front to back. If I'm looking at this rock and my peripheral vision, that's out of focus. If I'm looking at the mountains, my peripheral vision down here is out of focus. So your eyes don't actually focus infinity to foreground. So why should we do that in the camera? So it's not always necessary. So don't panic if you don't know how to do it. Don't panic if you're not sure what people are talking about with focus stacking, or you haven't got the ability to do it in your program that you use for post. Just take the image that you want to see, the image that you want to appreciate. What also is nice is there's some lily pads right up there. So I'm going to bob on a slightly longer lens as well, and just pull in closer to that and see if I can pull in those lily pads at the base of the boathouse. It's just a shame the water level's so low, because it doesn't quite look right. You can see the bottom of the boat. But yeah, this is another image. This is going to be a nice one, I think, looking down. And where Arnold's gone up there, there's a bit of driftwood, so we'll probably take a look at that as well. I did spot it on the way down, so it just depends. You know, we don't want to get in each other's way while we're here. But yeah, the girls, you can see there, they're both out taking photographs as well. So we may I may shoot a longer exposure to smooth this water out, but yeah, I'm rambling and waffling on, and this is supposed to be a less abled video and not all about me and the camera, is it today? So yeah, image done, already shot it, enjoy, and I'm going to set up for the next one. How rude, how utterly rude. I was here, minding my own business, and all I get is, "Oi, Paul, wave your hat." So I'm waving my hat. "Yeah, you're in me photo, get out." How rude is that? How rude is that, eh? God dear. Oh, you can take the person out of Dutch, but you can't take the Dutch out of person. Hey, I'm going this way. I'm going to get a slap in a minute. He's bigger than me. Hey, you know what I'm like. If you're in the shot, I'll tell you. So yeah, fair's fair. I've got one back on me now. Yeah, camera's set up nice and high, as you can see. Camera's way above head level. I put the slightly longer lens on again, and I've just fallen in love with this lens. One of my biggest gripes that I've got when shooting in vertical mode is the L plates on the top of the camera. So I have to have the camera flipped over this way, which means my screen only comes down this direction, so I can't see it. With this lens, let's come around this side, you've got a bracket on the lens, and I can actually spin the camera from the lens. This means I can have the camera up the other way, and I can use my articulated screen. How fantastic is that? And all I can hear in the back of my ear, which he's not said anything, but I know what he's thinking, if you had a Pentax, you can have your screen any direction. I could hear it coming out of his ears. But he's so true. He showed me, I'm going to show you in a minute, this camera. Because there's a lot of people out there. You've got to shoot Nikon, you've got to shoot Canon. A lot of people going over to Fuji. Do you know what? This guy has mastered the art of photography. Pentax 100%. If I could swap all my gear just on the look of his camera without the use of it, I would. It's brilliant.
You are so... bleep that one out.
I will bleep that one out. No, it's honest, brilliant. It got the screen on the back's fantastic. It goes everywhere.
Yeah.
He was showing me it's got built-in LED lights. What camera on the market's got built-in LED lights? And I'm not talking about the buttons that you can see at night. I'm talking about lights that you can see where to clip your lens on. You can see where the back of your screen. It's
where your SD card
it's
goes.
cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
And it does,
it's a proper landscape, nighttime photography
there,
camera.
straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, honest, it's brilliant. It's got some functions and features on it that really are proper good. So yeah, I'll show you that in a bit, if you really must want to see it. Anyway, right, back to this photograph. I'm so rambling and waffling on. What were we on? F8 probably. Yeah, F8, ISO 160. Not sure what the shutter speed was, but slow enough to take a nice image. I don't tend to worry about the shutter speed unless I'm trying to do smoothed out water, unless I want to try and keep the leaves from moving in the trees and things like that. I don't tend to worry about the shutter speed. Just let that do what it needs to do to take a good exposure. I've got the lily pads, I've got a little bit of water in the foreground, and I've got some trees above it. The trees just set this picture off really nice, and it is just a close-up picture of the boathouse. Very nice, very simple, job's done. Right, I've come down nice and low now. Tripod don't go much lower than this. I've got it balanced on a rock and just dipping in the water's edge. I've got these two little rocks in front of me, which I quite like to fill that empty space. I've got this beautiful reflection. The reflection's lovely. Got the mountains in the background. There's not a lot of light on it, but again, the Fuji greens really do help on an image. This is really growing on me, this camera. I'm not going to give up my Canon. I've still got my Canon, but this is definitely growing on me. Just the weight, the size, the ease, and the colours are absolutely beautiful. We've got a nice moody sky. The clouds are actually on the mountains in the top of the clouds. I've set the image up so there's only a small strip of cloud. Most of it is water and reflection. From coming down really, really low, I'm eliminating that movement in the water where it's rippling, so I've got main reflection, and we've got little fish down here. I hope you can see them jumping up in the corner of the camera, but little fish are jumping out. They're only about an inch long, and they keep jumping out of the water. Yeah, so I'm focused on these two rocks down in the foreground. I've got the polarizer on, and I'm still using the polarizer even though I want the reflection, because it's just taking off the glare and making the image a little bit darker in the bottom. So yeah, rocks are in the base, in the bottom of the image, just holding that bottom of the image and giving you a bit of interest. I've got a lovely reflection leading you through into the mountain in the background. And yeah, F8 I think I was on again. Let me have another look. Yeah, F8, ISO 160, and the shutter speed's varying about 60th of a second. Focus stacking again, I focused on the rocks and I focused on the mountain or the distant reflection as well. So just edging me bets a little bit. I might just take another one, the lights change just a little bit. Focus stack in the distance, bring the light up just a touch, just clipping the highlights. And I think that'll do. It's a nice little image, nice and simple. There's no light on it, but it's nice. And that's what it's about. Just taking something nice that you're happy with and you want to show other people. So yeah, another one done. I've got one more image behind us now. I'm going to go and have a look at that, see if the rocks and the leading lines from the reeds work. And yeah, we're probably done in this little spot. And I'm going to have a look and see what the wife's managed to capture. Come and see what Mrs. C is up to. How you doing, wife?
I'm just taking all my filters off quick so you can't see what I'm doing.
Oh, she's taken all of her filters off. My filters. She seems to be a good home for all my leftovers.
It's too late, it's done.
It's too late, can I have a look? She's looking at me all funnily like, don't you touch my camera.
You can, I love
Let's have a look at this masterpiece. It's white, dear.
It will be for on
Let's have a look.
playback.
Yeah, she's gone for a nice long exposure with this nice little piece of driftwood in as well. And some lily pads.
Yeah,
So yeah, we'll show you a few other images as well. Let's have a look.
I like that one.
Yep, nice and smooth. She's having a play. She's playing with the filters.
I just can't get the lily pads to. They
Can't-
don't pop out the same because they're not quite.
No, they're not quite
Don't they?
sticking out, are they? No, no. No, yeah, she's doing all right. She's doing all right. I'll show you a few other images anyway. Let's come over here and let's see what our international guests. Well, I'm the guest. Let's see what they think of this lovely country, shall we? Let's put them on the spot and ask them. Right, guys. Let's put the camera down there, and we'll put you straight. And we go. Well, what do you think of this lovely country then, sir?
Well, I think it's bloody marvellous.
He thinks it's bloody marvellous. What about you, wife?
Desiree.
Desiree?
I think the same. It's bloody
It's bloody marvellous.
Yes.
What more can you say? Speak to you soon.
I've been here.
Right, we've got some more to say. Put him on the spot.
Yeah, put me on the spot, why don't you? I've been here a couple of times. I lived here in 1990 and it's by far the most popular holiday place to go
Destination,
to.
yeah.
For us. And we'll be here back many times.
Yeah, definitely. And the weather's always different, it's always changing. So
Yeah.
it is. It's a fantastic place. If you do live abroad, and I know I've got a lot of followers all over the country, all over the world, should I say. So, you know, if you're ever coming over to England, or Britain in general, and I can meet up with you, I will. You know, it's just a case of where we can get together. But yeah, I'm more than happy to meet up, more than happy to take you to some of the places that I know. And yeah, maybe do likewise. I'll come over because I'm definitely going to come over to Holland. So, and I've got a trip to Australia to sort out as well. I don't know how I'm going to afford it, but it's on the bucket list. We'll write it down and make notes for all these places. So yeah, if you're coming over, come on over, give us a shout. More than happy to meet up. brilliant. I love it, and Denise loves it too. And yeah, it's been good so far, hasn't it? And we've got the rest of the day, we've got a whole night, and tomorrow.
Okay, guy.
They're going to get sick of me by the end of tomorrow, that's for sure. An okay guy? I'm an okay guy.
Oh,
What
yeah.
about that?